Ethnos, our thoughts after a long time not playing this game. I used to play this game a lot when it came out. And I mean, we're talking area control is the meat and potatoes of this thing. But there's a few layers on top of it. There are 11 different factions. And depending on the game, you're not going to play with, maybe half of them? Tops, is it 5?
5 on a 2-player and a 3-player game. And if you go 4 or more, then it's 6.
All right, so there's a bit of variety there, and you can have it as complicated, more complicated, or less complicated as you like. I think that adds a little bit of flavor to it because it changes the nature of the cards. Like the centaurs let you play again. Skeletons are good to get your numbers up, but they don't count towards the end of the game. So I do like the concept of the game being it's an area control game, and that's pretty simple. But you've got about 2 or 3 other layers, and the main difference I think here with some other games is there's the rummy ticket to ride kind of thing going on here. There's a lot of luck involved in what it is that you can actually do, and it's a very tactical game in my opinion because you have to play with what you've got.
Right.
The game Royals comes to mind, which is an area control game that has the same sort of thing. You're drawing a certain number of cards, and then once you get sets, that determines what you can play. And obviously Ticket to Ride has that same kind of feel to it, except it's kind of area control, I guess, in a way. But this definitely feels more like area control. What are your thoughts on the game? I really like it.
Yeah, so I really do too. It's right to the heart of what it's supposed to be, which is area control right off the bat. So there's not a lot. It's very streamlined from that perspective. You're just immediately looking to place tokens into your regions to control it and have the most. I love the dynamics of the different factions that allow you to do different things. And so there's a lot of variety to the game when you mix it up with different characters, if you will. So you've got elves, you've got dwarves, you've got orcs, you got all sorts of different factions, and they all do different things, have their own benefits.
Yeah, like the orcs, we played our most recent game, we had the orcs here, and basically every time, the first time you placed using the orcs in one of these regions, you get to also place on this board, and it's a set collection type of thing.
Yeah.
It gives you bonus points.
Yeah, so it's just a little variety on that front, and then you've got giants that do different things too. So what I like about this, though, is to me, it's light. It's not heavy. It's very simple. Yes, there's some strategy. There's some mostly tactical strategy, not so much
long term.
It's hard because the cards. There's a little bit of luck there that goes with it too, and so you just have to understand that just like dice rolling, there is a little bit of luck there because you may or may not get what you want to do. To get into a region that you really want to get into, especially late in the game. Late in the game, it's hard because
you have to play more cards in a set than the number of pieces that are in the section you're trying to play to.
Yeah.
So you have to think about those sorts of things.
That's in a 2-player game.
Right.
In a 3 or 4-player game, then you just have to have enough cards to increase one above what you have already on the board in that region.
But still, it gets harder as the game goes on to place pieces out.
It does, because you're trying to get a certain color or a certain faction, and if you don't get it, you just don't get it. And so unfortunately, then you're stuck with, dang, what can I do?
You definitely can get a raw deal on this game, but our playthrough was right at an hour.
Yeah, and that was refreshing our brains on the play because we haven't played it for a couple of years.
It's basically a 45-minute to an hour game for 2 players, maybe a little bit longer as you add players to it. But
if
for
we
what it is,
played it again, it would be an hour or less. You know, but I really enjoy it. It's light, it's fun. I don't like losing, but I do like this game, and I want a rematch.
Yeah, you'll get one. The other thing about this game is that this is it used to be CMON, now it's Come On game, and it really kind of flies under the radar just a little bit because they're all miniatures and big productions, and this game is pretty bare bones. I mean, these pieces are nice enough, but other than that, this is kind of bare bones. And I think this game has gotten a little bit pushed aside over the years. It's hard to find, and if you can find a copy and you like area control, because I think this is a game that I can play with, let's say, my wife, because she likes a game like Royals, even though the area control part makes her mad, and it's going to make her mad when she doesn't get the card she needs. She still enjoys it enough that as long as it's not overly complicated, I think this is a game I could play with that type of player and kind of sneak in an area control game here and there.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to teach, and it really does embrace its card game roots like Rummy and spades and things like that. You're trying to get sets and do things with the cards, and people understand that. But at the end of the day, you're really vying for position on the board.
Yeah. I mean, it really is that simple. It's literally, you're either trying to match colors or match factions.
Yeah.
And you just have to have enough of them to do what you want to do. And that is a simple concept for people to grasp. And also, it tells you right on the card what that faction does.
Yeah.
And all of the things that they can do are very simple too. So it's not a complicated game. So yes, very much so a gateway game for families, people that don't play a lot of heavy games that want to just play. Yes, you do have the area control aspect.
It's mean, but it's not like it's
you're not attacking.
It's hard to be super mean.
Yeah.
I mean, the area control is by its nature mean. You're trying to control something. But in this game, it doesn't feel as mean. There's not a lot of take that. I can't take pieces away from you. You're building up. So it kind of is a little bit less aggressive, but at the end of the day, it does scratch the area control itch for me, which is a gift for Fenny Rob and the Evil Jevs of the world. I really love this game. I'm glad we got a chance to play it again after all this time. And if I can snag a copy of this somehow, I'm going to get it. So that is what we think of Ethnos in this day and age. Great game, Ethnos. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.